Hey guys, meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this On the Snow Before You Go forecast. All right, my first stop is up to Alta up there in Little Cottonwood Canyon in the Wasatch of Utah. Pretty momentous day here, breaking 600 inches now officially for the season. Now it's 6:08. I made a couple of notes here. Same time last season, of course, last season was the biggest they've had on record. They were sitting at 877 and a half 1 year ago. So last year was huge. But this year's big as well. You know, last year went on to have over 900 inches. So we're at 608 officially there at Alta, and it has been quite a 24 hours across parts of the Intermountain West with incredibly high winds in Colorado. That storm will be exiting. Here's what I'm seeing in this update. That windy storm will exit. The next storm system, the next full-blown storm system to affect the West, the Intermountain West, 4/13, 14, and 15. You can see the timeline here for snow. So, for example, here's how you read it. In Colorado, I'm forecasting light snow accumulation on 4/8 and then moderate to heavy accumulation 4/13 and 4/14. In the Northeast, it mainly looks like rain 4/10, 11, 12, 13, but it may change over to snow or into snow on 4/13. So we'll look at all that in this forecast update. I want to take you over to water vapor and give you the lay of the land here. So on this, your moisture aloft is in your whites, your blues, and your greens. And, you know, there's our big windy storm system exiting from Wyoming, Colorado, after an incredibly windy period with this storm system. So what's next? We've got a pretty well-defined area of low pressure here. There's another little low here that's going to sneak in and kind of ride the tail at the end of this, the coattails and the very end of that windy storm system. It doesn't have a whole lot with it. It'll probably run through parts of southern Colorado and northern New Mexico with some light accumulations. But, you know, really it's this storm right here is the one to watch in the extended forecast. In fact, here's how it's going to play out. Let me show you the jet stream first. So by the jet stream by close of business on Monday, 4/8, you can see it. There's that secondary, that tiny low, kind of sliding in on the very southern end of our windy storm. That tracks into the Four Corners, ends up in southern Colorado and northern New Mexico, and then that slides on out into 410. A little bit of high pressure ridging here for a few days, but here comes that next. This is the next full-blown storm system here, 4/13, 4/14, and 4/15. You can see the trough sliding through the Intermountain, slides right through Colorado, and then by 4/15 and 16, it has moved away. But still seeing a little bit of a dip in the jet there over the northern tier. Okay, let's go back. I want to show you the forecast radar and satellite by the morning of 4/8. Here we are. What's left of our windy storm system up there in Wyoming and Montana. Still seeing some snow up there. And by the time we get into 4/8, late in the afternoon, notice what's happening in southern Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico. That's that secondary, very small area of low pressure that's going to race through. You can see it right there, and then it's gone. Then we refocus. We kind of watch up to the north, the Pacific Northwest and BC, and here comes our storm system. By 4/12, 4/13, 4/14, and 4/15, it moves through the Intermountain. You can see it does bring some moderate to heavy snow accumulation at times, and then it moves on out. A little bit more energy slides in with that dip in the jet there by 4/16. Okay, so let's talk about numbers during this time period. My grand totals by late 4/16 look like this. Most of the numbers that you see in Colorado don't happen until 4/13, 14, and 15. That's the same for the Wasatch and pretty much the same for the Teton. So we're going to have to wait quite a bit. We're going to have to wait for some time before this storm system, this next one, moves in, and that could be a 5 to 7 day wait. Same for California. That one is going to be right on that leading edge of that next storm system, so it's going to be a little bit of a waiting game there too. But because it's coming out of Canada and the Pacific Northwest, it does deliver some very nice accumulations to the Pacific Northwest and parts of interior BC and Banff as it rolls on through. All right, here's the breakdown by time period. So if you're skiing on 4/8, you can see what you're going to be dealing with. Some of the best new snow will be up in Wyoming, Montana, and only light additional snows in Colorado. Second time period's pretty light again. This is the waiting period, the waiting game, 4/9 through 4/11. Very light snow unless you're up in BC. Now here things get a little more active, 4/12 through 4/16, and it's mainly after 4/13. When that storm system drops down from the north with that buckling northern branch, and you can see where we pick up the best accumulations. In most places, it's moderate to heavy through Colorado, 4 to 10 inches there, 5 to 12 in the Wasatch, another 3 to 8 in the Tetons, and potentially Big Sky does well. So does interior BC and the Pacific Northwest. In California, though, I should say, when this storm does arrive, it's going to hit very high snow levels because it's going to be warm leading up to this thing. So I'm thinking like 7,000 feet potentially initially when the storm moves in. So there's going to be some melting and less snow below 7 and better accumulations above. Okay, let's go to the northeast. So again, rain 4, 10, 11, 12, 13. It may end as some snow accumulation at the very highest of elevations indicated here, but I'm not looking at anything heavy. It's just too warm leading into this storm system, but potentially it ends on 413 as some light snow accumulation. All right, let me go back and I want to just show you my spider chart. Odds of best snow will end on this for today. So best chances are odds of new accumulating snow over the next 5 to 7 days. So more purple, higher on the web, better odds. It fits with everything I've just told you. You know, initially, you're going to have to wait. And then down the road, 413, 14, 15, that becomes the Wasatch, that becomes Colorado, you know, that becomes the Tetons, that becomes interior BC and the Pacific Northwest. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this On the Snow Before You Go forecast. Always appreciate you tuning in here, and take care.